Hello, my name is Narses Hayrabedian. I'm the director of the Information Resource Center of the U.S. Embassy in Armenia. Our mission is to provide up-to-date information about U.S. policy to an Armenian audience. The IRC print and electronic resources are available to general public Monday to Friday from 1 to 6 p.m. We offer reference books and language materials, U.S. journals, and free internet computers to our patrons. If you are interested in becoming a subscriber to IRC services, please send your inquiries to ircyerevan@usa.am. I repeat, ircyerevan@usa.am. And of course, you can look for us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/ircyerevan. Welcome to IRC.
Hello, I am Anna Mukashchan. I'm working as an IRC assistant in the public affairs section of the United States Embassy in Armenia. We organize different events and projects for our patrons. I'd like to introduce two of them. The first one is American Corners in Armenia program. I'm happy to introduce 4 American Corners all over the country, located in Yerevan, Gyumri, Vanadzor, and Kapan. This is a joint project between United States Embassy and local libraries. American Corners do a lot of programs like Americans in American Corner, Armenians in American Corner, and other events such as English clubs, movie screenings, etc. For more information on American Corners, please visit their webpage at www.americancorners.am. Another popular program organized by the IRC is Monday Movie Program.
Hi, my name is Susan Bridenstine. Welcome to the U.S. Embassy Yerevan Public Affairs section. I'm the Assistant Public Affairs Officer. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about our Information Resource Center Monday Movie Program. Every third Monday of the month, the IRC offers an English language movie led by a diplomat here at the embassy and followed by a brief discussion about the movie. It's a wonderful opportunity to practice your English and learn a little bit about American culture, as well as introduce yourself to the resources that the IRC has to offer. Over the past several years, we've offered dozens of movies, most of them nominated for Academy Awards. So join us. How do you say how do you say we're ready? Patrasting. All right. Very good. I know your English is better than my Armenian, but thank you for coming today. I see lots of familiar faces in the audience. Today we're going to watch Julie and Julia, which is a very recent film from 2009. It's been nominated for a lot of awards and includes Meryl Streep, who's won several Academy Awards as well. And it focuses on 2 women, Julia Child, who was the wife of an American diplomat who learned to cook in France. So it's based on her autobiography, or her biography, My Life in France, that was written by her nephew. And then also about a young woman in New York City who decided to cook every single recipe in Julia Child's cookbook in less than a year and then blog about it. Does anyone here have a blog? No? Someone does? You have a blog? Okay, what do you write about cooking on your blog?
Yes.
Really?
I do.
Good. So give us the address at the end, and then we'll be following along with all of the great Armenian recipes, maybe. And so this is also about her discovering her ability to write every day as she's cooking, and it eventually became a published book. She made money off of the blog. So that actually is a pretty good characterization of Julia Child. She was sort of this larger-than-life woman. You saw she and her sister are very, very tall. And she actually did sort of speak with this very high voice like this. And she was a very compelling person, both in her writing and also on television. And she was really one of the first people on television in the United States teaching cooking, and really revolutionized the way that Americans approached cooking and approached food in the United States. And from that time, this was about in the 70s when she started teaching these classes until today. Now there's a Food Network channel in the United States where you can go and watch people making food 24 hours a day. And this cookbook, as it mentioned at the end of the film, is in its 49th print run. And so it's a very popular book, probably one of the best known cookbooks in the United States. So I have a question for you. If I were going to look for an Armenian Julia Child, who would it be? Is there someone like this that has... the duck and the pastry, the puff pastry. She was able to take the bones out of the duck very, very quickly, where you saw at the beginning she was trying to even cook a simple egg and was having trouble. So watching that, did you think, did you develop a passion for food, or did you think, oh, thank goodness I don't have to cook a lobster tonight?
No, the movie really inspires, I don't know, me, it inspires, and I would like to try something, some recipes.
Lobster.
Bucket lobster.
I think a lot of this is a lost art. I'm not sure people eat this way. And if you read the book that Julie Powell published, she mentions, I don't know if it mentions, I don't think it does at the end of the movie, you saw she left butter at the museum. And in the book it mentions that both she and her husband had gained a lot of weight eating all the food, because it was very rich food and very complicated food. So I'm not sure that Americans eat this way all the time, I would say. But it definitely, it was an inspiration, and it sort of allowed people, sort of gave them creativity, or sort of this fantasy of what was possible in the kitchen besides, you know,
and different from everyday food, because it's kind of cheerful, luxury.
Yeah,
Kind of
Americans, I think, are not eating
holiday
lobster
kitchen.
every. I know I'm not. But do you think simple food is better than fancy food? What? Do you think this was good food?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the mood.
Not always.
Not always.
Yes, of course.
And so this all looked very good, but at the same time, I'd rather have something that I grew up eating that's not so fancy. I don't know what you guys think. But we can, if you'd like, I can give Narcissus the links to some of the recipes that were in the movie. If anyone wants to try it and send in a picture, we will put it in the newsletter or on the IRC website, and I'm sure we'd be happy to taste it.
Actually, Susan gave a wonderful presentation just last Saturday. They gave it on American Corner.
I approve.
It's kind of good. You can prove my words.
Yes.
With 94, 95 different slides and with recipes. Yeah. If you are interested, you can go to American Corner also. They will provide this presentation to you.
You're a brilliant cook.
Thank you, thank you. And that's official because it's on TV.
The only thing which I didn't like in this movie was when they used fingers to eat.
Wow.
It's natural.
That's how I eat my horobats. Is that very wrong? Is that wrong?
Competitiveness between them. Yes,
Oh,
competition. As I understood there.
I think at first she idolized her, and at the end she found out that the first Julia didn't want to meet her, and she changed her mind totally.
Okay. So was the, go ahead.
She was a source of inspiration for Julia Powell, because she had a task for herself to make 524 recipes for 365 days, the same as the Julie Child did.
I think that's real dedication. I don't know if I could do something every day for 365 days like that. It's especially all that cooking.
Yeah.
Do you think that the idea that Julie had of Julia in her mind, do you think it was an accurate picture, or do you think it was something that she turned it into sort of Julia the Great? Julia Metz. How's that? do you think it was an accurate idea?
No, Julia the Great, because even with in her relationship with her husband, she compared herself with Julia Child and thought that she was more than
She was better?
herself.
Do you think she thought she was better than?
Yes, and wanted to make examples for herself.
Interesting. So if you were going to do a blog about a famous Armenian and you were going to try and copy something that a famous Armenian did every day, who might you pick?
There isn't anyone to be
Well,
Ideal person.
think about it and then start your blog.